Untamed is going to be untamed. It's going to be a little crazy. I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters. We can have grace and humility in how we interact with other people.
Oh, hot dog, look at you.
And nobody talked about what's really happening.
And let's have conversations about what truth is.
We are just 20 days away from the Great Minnesota Get-Together, and prosecutors, they're working to prevent a potential gang fight.
Stop this before it happens.
This new lawsuit is asking a judge to prohibit two known gang members, the Ville and Muddy, from gathering at the state fair. Prosecutors say the two groups have been connected to gang-related incidents involving shootings as far back as 2024. The proposed injunction would stop members of the two known gangs from associating with one another, which basically means they can come to the state fair, but they cannot stand, sit, gather with known gang members.
And if you do, you'll be violating the injunction, and that will bring consequences in your direction.
Investigators say a social media post is hyping up.
I can't believe that this is where we are as a country, that the 2026 Minnesota State Fair literally has a threat from two rival Somali gangs that are planning violence and a shootout. It's so serious that prosecutors, including the Minnesota Attorney General, had to file injunctions against the two street gangs, saying that there needed to be a proposed safety zone, saying that they could not go in the area of the state fair. Multiple reports all confirm that these are both Somali gangs. They are not some American or black gangs. They are Somali. And these gangs are very violent. There are a lot of Somali gangs. They've already done over 100 gang-related shootings, at least 14 murders just in the last couple of years. And when these Somali gangs are threatening violence, you should believe them, because on the 4th of July, what did they do? They committed murders. Somali gangs in Minnesota committed murder and shootings on the 4th of July. 12 different Somali gangs have been identified as committing violence all over Minnesota. The majority of it is gun violence. And then what do we have again at the Minnesota State Fair? We have the threat of a shootout and more gun violence. Why are we letting foreigners run our country?
Why are we letting foreigners run our country? Why? What do you think an injunction against gang members is going to do? It's as if we live in this world where you can just make it up as you go along. So yeah, we're gonna tell the gang members they can't hang out with each other. I mean, they're Somali gang members. They're criminals. And we're gonna tell foreigner criminals that if you hang out with each other, there are going to be consequences. Why wouldn't you just go in and arrest them? Why wouldn't you send their low IQ, barely even register on a scale, back to Donka land? Like, why wouldn't you? Americans are held hostage in their own country. Foreigners are allowed to have their own gangs. They're allowed to, I don't even know. What do you want to call it? What do you want to call what has happened to Eden Prairie and Minneapolis? Should we say that this is progress? It's progress in the United States that Americans get held hostage in their own country. They get to do whatever they want. They can have leering centers and bilk Americans out of millions of dollars. And we're supposed to, somewhere along the line, just sit back and take it. So I just got to ask you the question. It's heavy on my mind. And that is, why are we putting up with it? Why are we putting up with it? This entire byproduct, and I keep coming back to it. And I was telling Patrick before I came on, I'm indifferent. I'm at the stage of indifference. I think I know what the judiciary is. We just saw in Mississippi, of all places. In Mississippi, they just put a radical Muslim woman in as a judge in the red state of Mississippi. It doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. The people are going to betray you. The people are going to virtue signal and do things to hand foreigners the reins to America on both sides of the aisle. You think that this is a Democrat problem just because you have the DSA and you have these people that are radically out there that want to take from you what was never theirs to take. And the further and further it gets down this line, what we know that they're pushing for is conflict. They're pushing for us to basically go at each other's throat. The only reason that we're in this position is because of stolen elections. The only reason. And every time I see a new thing that's being put out there, every time that I see a new statement be put out there by John Solomon, or a statement put out there by Kash Patel, or a statement put out there by the DOJ, or my favorite was, Ed Barton said, all hands on deck. And, I'll grab that one here in a minute for you guys so you have it. Every time I see this, all I keep thinking to myself is, they're not serious about this problem. They're not serious about it. They don't want to solve this problem. If you solve this problem, if you truly solve the problem of free and fair elections, and you hand it back to the American people, they will wreck it Ralph. You take away lifetime appointments for federal judges, they should never have a lifetime appointment. You make it impossible, you give them absolute immunity, you make it impossible to remove them. You put hired henchmen into positions of trust and authority where they can wreck the Americans' lives while handing off entitlements to foreigners, people that don't even belong here. And then they do it under the guise of, oh, you don't have a heart. I have a heart. I have a heart for Americans. That's what I have a heart with. I saw this post about IDs. And the reason why I'm going to do this State of the Union is we're heading into the midterms. And I see, I went through and I built this model in the next room over, and I was talking about the influencer paradigm and how influencers stick together with other influencers, and they're all shit, but they give each other credibility. You have Joey Kelly tied to Dan Bongino, tied to John Solomon, tied to Steve Bannon, and they basically create this Mean Girls Club. It's like a cult club. And so if you like one, you have to like the other. You can't talk badly about them. And I'm just like Wreck-It Ralph. Like, I don't care. I'm not afraid of them. I don't give a shit if they like me or don't like me. I could care less. All I care about is the American people. That's it. I only care about the people. And I don't care how unpopular it makes me with their little cliquish grifting crew. But that's what we're up against. So this is a post that was put up by Tara Servatius. If I could show all Americans just one thing, it would be the FBI's own internal assessment that China shipped fake licenses into the U.S. for voter fraud to get Biden elected. The information on the licenses came from China hacking our boards of elections. Yeah, that's not true. The FBI hid it from Trump, who was president at the time, and the American people, and lied to Congress about it. That is true. They also destroyed the evidence and buried it. You only do that for one reason, to protect it. It is the FBI's own internal assessment declassified by Trump a few weeks ago. Okay, and it goes through and says Chinese government production and export of fraudulent U.S. driver's license to Chinese sympathizers in the United States in order to create tens of thousands of fraudulent mail-in voters for the U.S. presidential candidate Joe Biden in late August 2020. Date of information, someday August 2020. Summary, none. Okay, so there's more to talk about this. I had to respond because, frankly, I think I should respond to it. I should respond to more lies. And I know President Trump doesn't believe this. I know that he's got to have better information to be smarter. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I will tell you, I'm much smarter than what just got put in front of you, right? And here, so I had to respond. I said, okay, wow, more narrative BS manufactured to get the American people to believe the machines and the people that ran them were not the devils and the evidence showed they are. The FBI hid the truth, stopped the investigation, and then released information about a story that is more nonsense from the original story of safest, most secure election in U.S. history. You cannot make this up. You have no idea who this woman is, but I have no idea who this woman is, but I do know she's either purposely pumping this manufactured lie or she's complicit. Let me explain. You can manufacture all the licenses you want, and you will never be able to steal an election without a system designed to steal, switch, and manufacture votes on the system. The FBI knew about Raul Coulter in Romania. They offered him a hush-hush job for blowing the whistle in 2019. He worked for Fox IT. The FBI had him arrested, and he sits in prison in Romania as we speak. That is not what happened, and that is not what happened in our country. The FBI is just as complicit as the gaslighting today as they were in 2020. What makes it worse is now you can see the influencers who are selling their souls, betraying the American people, and lying about what actually happened. Tell me, Mr. President, how is this a thing? I know that you know. I know you all know. I sat in front of Counsel Pompeo, and we told him what we knew on Jan 6, 2021. I don't get it. Why is this lie continuing to evolve this way? And it gets me to that place where I just don't want to. I mean, what am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to ignore it? You can see it. You can see the op just taking shape. You can see it. It's as clear as day. It's like you're seeing dead people. And then when we start talking about this dishonesty, you can't help but talk about the conflicting things that someone like Dan Bongino or Kardashian Patel says. Kardashian Patel says that they've been able to lower violent crime by 50%. I think it was at 50%, 40, 50%. Okay, it's a good number. And he said the FBI is doing their part. Well, the FBI doesn't have anything to do with lowering that number. That number got lowered because we kicked out 500,000, a million, 2 million criminals. They were on our streets wreaking havoc, getting free entitlements while committing crimes. So, of course, when you throw all those people out, let's give ICE their due credit. We closed the border, stopped all these criminals from coming across the border. But we still have those elements, but those elements got a little bit quieter too. So you kicked out the couple million that were there. Now, this is me being Captain Obvious for you, just for a minute. But you kick those people out. Sam, do me a favor, just switch over to a different platform. By the way, just go ahead and hit the share button if you would. It's glad to see you guys all here. Yeah, we already know that there are people that we found this information out on Thursday or Friday. They are working on it, but people that go in and negatively mark our podcast and stop it from getting its reach. Now they can only do it for certain platforms. So I mean, it's the platforms by which we're live. But if you could take the minute, and you're the ambassador of truth, just go ahead and hit the share button. But I look at this op that's going on right now, and I look at the things that we're dealing with, and you can start to put it all together. If you look at the influencer bubbles, and you look at like Julie Kelly, whose husband is a raging Democrat. She and her husband gave to Democrats, but she was the heir apparent for going over J6. And you have Dan Bongino that talks about the fact that the Epstein files, and look, let's just separate President Trump from it. They've already made up something like 4,000 times President Trump talked to Jeffrey Epstein, which is not true. It's just not true. But they can make up whatever they want on the left. But it's not just the left making things up, it's the right too. And the right uses people like John Solomon, closely connected to Steve Bannon. And I put this out there, and I had Dawn, who was on X, turn around to me and said, Joe, man, I trust you, but I never saw it coming that John Solomon would be bad. And I was like, well, what has he done? He is bad. But I thought about it for a minute, and I went back, and I'm like, well, go back and do the information. Go get into the information, and you will see that a broken clock is right more times than John Solomon. True story. And I sat at an event talking about the fact that the elections aren't free and fair. And this piece of shit sat in his little chair, his little fat ass in the chair, and all he could say was, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Show me the evidence." I was like, "Well, you don't show someone the evidence in a 5-minute conversation. If you want to walk through it and forensically look at this, so we can academically start to show you what's happening, we can do that." And I was sitting there with Dave Clements, and I told the guy, I mean, I wanted to fight the guy. I just wanted to I wanted to beat the brakes off him, frankly. And it was this smugness, and I was like, this guy's an op. This guy's an op. Everywhere he goes, guess who comes behind him? Oh, Steve Bannon, Epstein's butt boy. And somebody brought to me and said, Joe, if Steve Bannon is that bad, then why is he in these circles? Well, he's an information guy. He's an information pimp. He wants to be the guy that's in the know. He'd sell his soul for his grandmother. He didn't. Yeah. And it's obvious he would, because he hung out with a known pedophile who was arrested, went to prison, got out, and said he wanted to make him more likable. How do you make a pedophile more likable? It just, the math doesn't math. But here's Solomon. Here's a clip of Solomon discussing psychological operations. Now, I want you to pay attention to this because it's important, because you're chattel. And I want to tell you why chattel does matter. So go ahead and play it.
Sat across from an intelligence agent, now retired, very senior. He looked me in the eye and said, the truth of the matter is, we took the playbook for psychological operations and information warfare that we would use against our enemies, and we turned it against the American people to undo the 2016 election and to make sure they didn't elect Donald Trump in 2020. Now, that is a senior intelligence officer with more than 30 years of experience, a patriot who served in some of the most dangerous parts of the world, and he understood that the tactics of making something fake look real were ripped right out of our intelligence communities. Our intelligence agencies not only harmed Donald Trump, they were harming the American public, the national security interests of the American public.
Harming the national security interests. It came from an FBI, a patriot, right? So he wants to stack up what he's doing. He's giving you leading indicators. These are leading indicators of why you should trust this report. It's what you do when you're trying to mule someone across and salvage a fraudulent election system that should never be salvaged. It walks past the ASOG reports, walks past the Mesa County reports, walks past the fact that Tina Peters spent time in jail as a result of it. It walks past Dominion voting systems and the lies told by John Polis. It walks by Eric Coomer saying, hey, don't worry about it. Trump's not going to win. I made sure of it. It walks past the Maricopa audit, walks past the audit that was done in New Mexico by David Clements and Aaron Clements. It walks past all the information that we were able to get out of Nevada, walks past Ed Solomon's report having to do with the math behind it. It walks past all of it. Walks back what Mark Cook has. Walks past all of it. He just kind of walked right past it as if it didn't exist. And then said, the only thing that we have to believe is we have to believe this FBI patriot that served on this task force for 30 years. Well, how long do you think the FBI has been rotted to a core? You think it's been a day, 2 days, 5 days? You tell me. I mean, let's get down to the honesty part about this. And let's talk about the fact that people are inside of a circle and they crumble the narrative and then they bounce credibility off each other. Let me just do the math for you. You have a circle, put people in the circle. Steve Bannon, Bongino, Kash Patel, Julie Kelly, John Solomon. Oh, there's more. And then people get put on the outside, like Emerald Robinson gets put on the outside. How she survived in this whole little mix of things, I don't even know. But she's on the outside. She's on the outside now. But all of these people, John Solomon goes on Steve Bannon's show. Steve Bannon goes on Dan Bongino's show, and Julie Kelly goes on Bongino's show. It goes on Steve Bannon's show. They basically prop each other up because it's one big grift. One big grift. You don't think President Trump knows? I know he knows. So I had to respond to John Solomon, who I've been very, very upfront about this. Go back and listen to everything that John Solomon does. He always accredits it to something that has no credibility. The FBI has no credibility, except for when John Solomon, the pinky swear, guy's been wrong more times than a broken clock, says that we should listen to him. Just listen to the fat man, because he doesn't even know how to use his cell phone, but maybe somewhere along the line he can show us how to save an election system with a patch, right? You can take a system that's designed to defraud the American people that they knew. ASAC report was back in 2014. They identified all the different weaknesses. By the way, Eric Coomer was still there as a chief architect for Dominion Voting Systems. He was a patent holder in the adjudication process. We were able to identify all these different problems in Michigan and Pennsylvania, Virginia. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go. It's all 50 states. The election systems are fraudulent in all 50 states. But I had to say this. Solomon's a sick dude. He plays a psychological game. He speaks about walking past the reality. All the elections are fraudulent. It's not about Donald Trump. It was the most obvious That was the most obvious. It is about the elections or selections. It's not 2020, it's every election at every level in every state. But the liar Solomon knows this. They all know, and the evidence is overwhelming. The last part of the con is try and convince you that it's an isolated issue and they can fix it with a patch for the system. You can't. You can't fix a system designed to defraud the people and make them institutional slaves. End stop. You tell me. Go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and tell me. I mean, look, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I got to get on an airplane. And I'm thinking to myself, I gave up 6 years. I gave 6 years of my life for this stuff. I gave it up. I got angry over 6 years. I mean, righteous anger. You could say that I was just, I'm past it now. I'm back to, you could say I once was in the place that I'm in right now. I was in this fiery place, this place where I just, I became resolute. I understood what the outcome is. I know where we're headed. Now I'm just to the point where I'm just going to point out stupid, retarded, and evil people that say that they're on our side, part of the cartel, part of this little group that basically gives each other credibility, wash each other's back, yank on each other's pud. That's the reality of what we're dealing with. And by the way, these people are faithless, godless, just not good people. Ebitz that just wants to destroy you. So I put up a post this morning, and I realized that people are going to say, Joe, you don't attack your side. Is John Thune on my side? Maybe Jordan. Is John Jordan on my side too? Maybe Mike Johnson. And the bad part is that President Trump can't come out swinging like I swing. He can't. He's got to play politics, right, man? They're on his side, right? We got some recess appointments done. We finally got recess appointments done. Todd Blanche is now the AG, confirmed after much negotiations. But you can't have the Save America Act. 85% of America, Democrat and Republican, mixed, independents, doesn't matter. They all want it. And the 15% that don't, they're people that work for Dominion anyway. They work for the very thing that is actually allowing them to institutionally steal 56 cents on every dollar from you, make you pay property tax and make it almost unlivable so that when you go to retire, they can just come in, swoop in, take your house and put you into a place of poverty. That's the reality for 95% of America. You work your ass off, you're a slave, and at the very end, they discard you. You think it's not true? I think it's very true. So here's what I said about courage. Selective courage is not courage. It's cowardice light. Like Bud Light, only with an American flag wrapped around it, or like a dog crap wrapped in bacon. The truth at this point is obvious. But let's allow John Solomon, a man who can't even use his cell phone, who literally has been wrong more times than a broken clock, to convince the world he's the authority on the election systems. Walk past the evidence and stay quiet. That works really well. We're like cattle at this point, no matter the political side of the aisle. When Clinton said that people are stupid, this is why. Choose a leader to fight for us because, God forbid, we do it ourselves. Good morning. I put it out there early. It says 3:22 in the morning. It was actually 4:22. We have selective courage. You want to know where we're at for the country? By the way, it's not a black pill moment. We just know where we're headed. And it's okay. It's okay. See, the American spirit it's pretty obvious when they steal your constitutional rights, put up stuff that say that they have to keep guns out of the hands of normal law-abiding citizens because, God forbid, they just stop giving people psychotropic drugs. They stop feeding them COVID shots and grooming children in elementary school at their most vulnerable time and telling them they can cut off their wiener. I mean, God forbid we get to a place where you maybe, I don't know, teach them math, science, basics. I mean, that's a novel concept. So novel that, frankly, I wonder if it's something that can be done, right? Can we get to that place where we actually allow truth to flourish? No. I want you to see what I think of the media. And the media is dangerous. It's super dangerous. And the reason why it's dangerous is because it doesn't tell the truth about anything. It doesn't tell the truth. It perpetuates the lie after lie after lie and creates an environment where it becomes almost impossible for you to see the bottom of the barrel. And when you question it, you're either an Uncle Tom or they will come up with every way possible in order to put you in a box. Put you in a box and tell you why they're right. Now, they won't have anything other than dog whistles. And they'll make up some sort of narrative and say, well, he's a racist here and he's racist there. And it's always old white people that just want to be important. Kind of like being in that little group, that little clique with Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and John Solomon, all these people that want to be in this little group. And I had high hopes for Kardashian Patel, man. I did. Then he went after my friend, Kyle Seraphin, under the guise of sending his girlfriend in to do it. And that's a spineless dude. That's what an attendant at 7-Eleven does when he's trying to feed someone a Slurpee or get someone to buy a Best Buy gift card. No, I think you got what I'm saying here. But they eat up every word in the media and they get out there and regurgitate it because they want to be smart. And their entire lives, they've never been smart. They've never been courageous. They've never led anything. So they now that armed with a bunch of lies from the media and they know that they can stand out there and piss on people and act like the little evil midget that they are, they become the authority. Let's play it.
Are outside.
Tell me how you think that we're losing this country to the fascist regime by Trump. Tell me what makes you say that.
Why? Because he's the most corrupt president that's ever served in the United States.
I don't want you to give me statements. I want you to give me like reasons. I want you to give me examples.
That is a reason.
But give me examples.
That is a reason.
What is it that he's doing? What are some of the things that he's doing?
He's putting forward someone named Todd Blanche, who's the absolute worst person. Should never be allowed in a courtroom, let alone as the Attorney General.
And what is Todd Blanche doing to make this a fascist regime? What is he doing?
Forget it.
There you go.
There you go, guys. That's what you get. That's what you get.
Sir, do you understand how silly you look that you're out here making accusations and making statements, and when I ask you to back it up, you have
a black man supporting Trump.
Okay, why shouldn't a black man support Trump? Let's hear it.
He's a fucking racist. That's why.
Based on what? What has Trump done to make him a racist?
Yet another baseless accusation.
So you're telling me because
who are you, a Clarence Thomas
fan? So you're telling me because I'm black, I'm supposed to just follow the herd? You telling me because I'm black, I'm supposed to just follow the herd and not support Donald Trump at all?
Why do you support him?
Why do I support him? Because he puts America first.
America first?
He's putting America first.
What does that mean?
Right now,
what does that mean?
Can I explain to you? Right now, I'm loving the fact that he's removing all of the illegal criminals that are in this country, messing with our people. I love that he's doing that. I love the work that he did with the USAID, where he found a whole bunch of fraud going to foreign nations for literally no reason. I like that.
Thousands of children have died and are dying because he closed down USAID.
That's not true. That's not true, sir.
You misinformed idiot.
That's not true, sir. Well, here you go.
Right.
The liberal old white man, this is what the liberal old white man does when he can't answer simple questions. He starts throwing insults.
You're a traitor to your own people.
There you go. There you go, guys. Exhibit A.
What's the size of
Traitor to your own people. This dude's a retard. But you see how flustered they become. They built AI for old white women specifically and men that look like women. Little, I don't know, penguins. Man, I tell you what, we have more to talk about. We're going to go on to we're going to go on to talk about some uncomfortable topics. I had a guy that put up a post. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Todd Blanche was confirmed in the 88th day. I don't remember what it said, but it said like the 88th day, and it confirms the Q for 88. And I was like, okay. So I was like breaking. I got my 8th latte on the 8th day of the month, and it was at 8 a.m. so I get the double Q award. Now, we need to just stop it. Just stop. People are being criminals, and the people that attack the criminals to protect themselves are being locked up. We're letting it happen. We're letting the police say, I'm just doing my job. We're letting people take people from our community. We're letting, you know, I saw this thing where a flock camera got cut down. And so they had the entire forensic team out there. They were checking fingerprints and everything else. And this woman goes, I had someone that broke into my house, and they showed up and like, well, nothing we can do. They didn't do anything. I'm thinking to myself, it's because you're a slave. They don't care what happens to slaves. I mean, look, I'm trying to tell you, if the Boston Tea Party was something over a 2 pence tax, right now, you're the biggest. I mean, you're literally chattel to them. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, man, I'm going to blow your mind. I am going to blow your mind. Blow your mind. And we're going to talk about the medical industry. And we're going to talk about the fact that in plain sight, right in front of us, they're putting the devil right in front of us, and they're saying, you got to take this, take it on the chin. And it only takes, it takes a very small portion of men that are good men to stand up, but it has to be a pack, right? You gotta make sure you're doing right by the other people in your community. But yeah, we'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some stuff. We'll be right back.
Oh, hi. I almost didn't see you there. Welcome to DCF Buns, where you can find the freshest buns in town, if I do say so myself. Our master bakers teach class every week. So whether you're new to baking or trying to improve your culinary skills, we got you covered. And we can help you bake the cake of your dreams. We'll even clean your cake if you want. And if you don't want to bake anything yourself, we have loads of fresh buns available in a variety of shapes and sizes. Check us out at dcfbuns.com to learn more. DCF Buns. We keep the buns hot and the deals hotter. Buns.
In every thread, in every stitch, Honor-Bound USA weaves the fabric of the American spirit. It's not just apparel, it's a testament to God, family, and country. At Honor-Bound USA, we're a family of patriots who put our faith, family, and America first. When you visit our website, you'll find a line of products that embody our commitment to pray, stand, speak, and act. As the official site for the Untamed podcast, all of our products proclaim speaking the truth with courage. We also have the powerful documentary from Professor David Clements, Let My People Go. Identify yourself as one of the few who are willing to stand for what they believe in. Join the Honor-Bound USA family today. Wear it as a badge of honor, commitment to the values that shape us, and a pledge to the bright future we will build together. Because when you're honor-bound, you're not just wearing a brand, you're embodying a lifestyle.
Around the same time that John D. Rockefeller seized U.S. media, he also hijacked U.S. medicine. When it was discovered that drugs could be produced from petroleum, America's top oil mogul ordered his army of propagandists to invert reality accordingly. Medicines used for thousands of years were suddenly classified as alternative, while the new, petroleum-based, highly addictive, and patentable drugs were declared the gold standard. After buying a German pharmaceutical company that manufactured chemicals of war for Adolf Hitler, Rockefeller leveraged his political influence by pressing Congress to declare natural healing modalities unscientific quackery. Rockefeller then took control of the American Medical Association and began offering massive grants to top medical schools under the mandate that only his approved curriculum be taught. Any mention of the healing powers of herbs, plants, and diet was erased from most medical textbooks. Doctors and professors who objected to Rockefeller's plan were crucified by the media, removed from the AMA, and stripped of their license to teach and practice medicine. Those who dared to speak out were arrested and jailed. When evidence began to emerge that petroleum-based medicines were causing cancer, Mr. Rockefeller founded the American Cancer Society, through which he suppressed that information.
So this leads me to what you know about the AMA. And this is the rabbit hole that I went down. I went down the rabbit hole to say, all right, Fauci, and you have people that are influencers that are bouncing it off each other to make themselves look good and sharing other people's content, and then saying that Fauci is this good guy. They're actually saying that Fauci is a good guy. They're doing it with a straight face. And if you go back in time and we saw that they said 2 weeks to stop the spread, was that true? No. And they told you that the vaccine will stop you from getting COVID. Was that true? No. And they said that COVID came from a wet factory or a wet market, from a bat. Was that true? No. And then they told you that ivermectin was just a horse paste. And Dr. Corey testified in front of Congress, and it was on YouTube in August of 2020. And he said it's a miracle drug. And of the nearly 3,000 people that have been serviced, not one person has died. And what did YouTube do? They took it down. This video you just saw, it's because the Rockefellers took over the medical campus and developed the American Cancer Institute. They basically Cancer Society, they own it now. So the very people that are out there that can actually influence the outcome of our health and our longevity, they're at the controls, man. They're at the wheel of the car. I'm going to play with you the meaning of the snakes. I want to play it for you. See, I already told you I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at. I'm at that place where I want people to wake up, but I also want them to do something for themselves. President Trump was in Butler, Pennsylvania, and he put his hand in the air and he said, fight, fight, fight. Every time President Trump has told us to do something, we've not done it. And when we did do it, we scared the living bejesus out of them. And we found out that, that they wanted to have an insurrection. But it wasn't an insurrection. It was the American people having a redress of grievances. But you're a slave, so you don't have a redress of grievances. And the Constitution doesn't make a difference because they own the judiciary, so they can take whatever they want, if you let them. But I want to show you the meaning of the snakes. This is pretty interesting. Go ahead, play it.
Hey, Doc, what is that thing?
That thing pisses me off every time I see it, and here's why. So people look at it and they think, oh, that must mean some kind of symbol of medicine or healthcare or something. That rod with the two snakes going around it and the wings at the top, right? Wrong. What they're thinking of is the rod of Asclepius, which is a single snake going around a rod. No wings, no other snake. And that was the staff that was carried by Asclepius, who's the Greek god of health and healing. That thing, the staff with the two snakes going around it and the wings at the top, that is a caduceus. A caduceus was carried by Hermes, who's the Greek god of commerce and lying and deceit. And it's actually the symbol that's been adopted by insurance companies and many other for-profit organizations within the dysfunctional American healthcare system. So actually it's a pretty appropriate symbol for those things if you ask me. So remember, one snake going around, you can trust them. That's good. 2 snakes going around, bad. Don't trust them.
Thanks, Doc.
Now, I want to do this for you because it's really important that you understand this. The medical confusion and the medical symbol, it actually goes through and says that organizations like the U.S. Army Medical Corps mistakenly adopted the caduceus in 1902, leading to widespread misusage in modern healthcare. The true medical symbol is a rod of Asclepius. Asclepius? Is that right? Asclepius? I'm just learning this with you. It belongs to the Greek god of healing and is the correct term for medicine. But let's walk through it real quick. I wanted to do this so that if we looked at the symbol for the American Metals AMA, here we go. Can you guys pull that up? Can you pull up the American Medical Association's symbol? Look, every time they tell us that something is by accident, that they mistakenly did it, so they mistakenly did it for 124 years. That even when they found out, they didn't go back to the one snake on the rod, even though they knew. Even though they knew, they did the 2 snakes for what reason exactly? And the International Medical Association is 2 snakes as well on a rod. Look, I don't want to sit here and tell you that everything's a conspiracy and you're a hammer and everything is a nail. I don't. You know what I want? I want the American people to have life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. I want for somebody that's in my office, when I asked her about, does she carry a gun? She goes, no, I have a gun. I just need to get my concealed carry. And the thing she says is, and this is heartbreaking for me. She's like, yeah, my mom said that if I'm going to stay in this state, I have to get my concealed carry. Deathly afraid to walk down the streets in Colorado because it's dangerous. No matter where you go, it's dangerous. And yet we keep being told that Democrats and everyone keeps voting for this stuff that they have here. They don't. It's just fraudulent elections. So we have this. Do we have it, guys? Do we have the two staffer deal? Okay, so just so you know, here, let me just put this up here for you. That would make sense. Whoops, wrong one. See if I can get over to it. Boop, got it. This is the Public Health Insider, 2017. All right. So this is the American Medical Association joins growing support for, and it shows the 2 snake deal. And as you go through the internet, depending on what site you're on, is depending on what site. But if you look at like the statues in front of buildings down in Washington and across the country, they're represented by the 2 snakes, not the 1. But if you go onto the internet and you ask the question, it will say that it was just a mistake. It'll say it's just a mistake. They mistakenly did it back in 1902. And it's been misrepresented across medical, because, I mean, you're learning to be a doctor. It's the medical field. So you wouldn't correct yourself in that environment. No. It's just an honest mistake, but it's not. Here's a medical update from Dr. Peter McCullough. I want you guys to see this if you can. The FDA approves Moderna's mRNA influenza vaccine despite 75.3% rate of adverse reactions. According to the FDA briefing document, severe systemic reactions were 4 times more common than with the traditional flu shot. Data consistent with mRNA being a more dangerous vaccine platform. Will it sell in a crowded flu shot market? They know that it has a 75.3 adverse reaction rate. Severe problems is 3.94% higher, and it had no placebo group, and the FDA approved it. I mean, I'm kind of glad, because it's going to call the herd. I mean, frankly, I'm not putting any of that stuff in my body. And by the way, I'm learning how to plant food now. I've been watching this guy on Instagram. He's freaking amazing. He goes, "Don't throw your banana peels out." I'm like, "Don't throw banana peels out." Yeah, you can make water that you can give to your plants, and then you can do all this stuff. And I've learned so much from it. But then I want to put this up. I want to let's put up that email. Let's put up this email. This is a Fauci email, and just imagine. I want you to imagine that you're a parent with a child, and let me just read it. Dr. Fauci was covering up data showing a miscarriage rate of over 80% in pregnant women who received the mRNA COVID vaccine in their first trimester. It was effectively an abortion shot. This is murder. For documents released today by Rand Paul and Senator Ron Johnson, raw data reveals an 82% miscarriage rate in women vaccinated during the first trimester. This is consistent with the 81% miscarriage rate noted in the Pfizer 5.3.6 postmark data. This study was released in April of 2021, but even in December 21, Fauci was still telling pregnant women to get vaccinated. Fauci lied and people died. And he knew. You still want to believe the 30-year FBI agent that John Solomon tells you is a patriot? You see what I'm going here, man? I'm trying to give you some context. I'm trying to put you in a place where you can understand what's right in front of you. That's it. Yelling's not going to do it. I mean, why would I yell at you? I can't. There's nothing I could do to yell at you to say that that's going to make it better. We just got to work the problem. The problem is that we have a completely broken, inept bureaucracy inside of our government. We have a CIA, FBI. We have a government problem. They want to steal from you and eat everything off the bone, leave table scraps for you. And it's not just them. You got the technocracy that basically gets to pick winners and losers, and they get to stop people from putting out information, especially that's truthful. You got bots that are out there trying to convince you that girls can be boys and boys can be girls. You got the WNBA, which is probably one of the most worthless organizations out there, that basically is probably one of the most rabidly racist organizations out there, and not from the white on black part. You have DEI, and you have these infections, mind viruses, that are consuming people at a rate that's, frankly, it's unbelievable. And we sit back and we just take it. CRT, developed by some retard out of a university. And that became the new standard. That should have been indicator number one. And then you got DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is none of those things. It puts retards in the driver's seat for positions such as pilots, judges, doctors. Retards. Because it's not merit-based. It's based on, you can fog a mirror, but you're a different color. Okay, we'll put the pink frog over there in the seat and let it make decisions for the rest of America. And by the way, make sure that pink frog knows how he got there so that we can actually claw back and have that pink frog do exactly what we want him to do anywhere, anytime. It's a betrayal of the American people. It's a betrayal. So where are we at as a country when we're less than 100 days from the election in November? We don't have free and fair elections. We have kabuki theater, and we got people on our side trying to convince us that somewhere along the line, the elections are not fraudulent. You already know they're fraudulent. You know that they're fraudulent. There's no part of it that isn't Captain Obvious. You know that they lie about everything. Congress lies to us about. John Thune got up there and said, "Hey, I don't think there's any election fraud." Then when the election fraud comes out, you have John Solomon and Bannon and all the other people. We're not machine guys. You're not machine guys because there's money in it. Because you're in on it. Some of the wildest stuff I've ever learned is that there is zero space. There is not a piece of paper space between leadership on the left and leadership on the right. People like Lauren Boebert are no better than Phil Weiser. Somebody said to me online when I was writing this stuff up, I was putting this stuff out there related to the fact that I said I can't vote for Victor Marx. I can never support a man named Victor Marx. I couldn't do it. You know, he's the quintessential Judas. Talks a good game, uses the Lord's name any way he can. But the guy wouldn't know the truth if it smacked him in the face. And then we get distracted by things that are happening, but we can see it as it's happening. And when we're not talking about the technocracy, we're not talking about the bureaucrats, we're not talking about the selected leadership that basically is scared to death to lose their grip on power. Well, then we have to talk about what's left. We have to talk about the fact that they send in companies to basically hurt Americans, create a unlevel playing field. I want to play this. This is Coca-Cola. By the way, I won't buy anything from Coke. I threw out all my stuff. I had Diet Coke. I like Diet Cokes. Now, all right, let me just tell you something. I love Diet Coke. I don't like Diet Cokes. I love Diet Coke. And it was just a couple of weeks ago that I discovered the cherry Diet Coke. And you can say they're bad for you all you want. I didn't care. But if you come after Christians, you try to make Christians and you try to do things to hurt people, and then you lie about it, I used to spend $20 a day, $30 a day at Starbucks. Yeah, that was 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Man, I would rather eat glass than ever go into a Starbucks. I won't get a free water from Starbucks. Not interested. I'm going to do the same thing to Coca-Cola. Let's find out why. Play the first one.
Coca-Cola, now that I have your attention and you have disabled custom Coke can entries on your website, there are some other things you could maybe help clarify for us. And don't worry, I figured you would eventually do this, so I kept the receipts. Behind me are 3 screen recordings. In the first screen recording, you can see that if you were to have inputted the phrase PDF Pride, the system would have accepted your entry. You could see it right there on the can. In the second screen recording, the phrase Satanic Pride would also be accepted. You can see it again right on the can. However, if you were to have inputted the phrase white pride, or even now black pride, the system would have rejected your entry. And this is in no way a political statement, but it does get better. The phrase Democrats suck would have been rejected by the system. You can see they say, we worked hard to get this right. But if you were to have inputted Republicans suck, now the system accepts your entry. You can see it again on the can. Wow.
It goes further. You could say Satan is great. Someone else did it. It would take it. You could put Christ as king. It wouldn't let you do it. You could put Jesus is king. Wouldn't let you do it. Jesus is good. Wouldn't let you do it. There's all sorts of videos of people doing this. And Coke came out and they just turned off the system. So we're just not giving you personalized Coke cans anymore. But I think this is a Bud Light moment. This is a moment where we just say, we're just done. You've taken from us more than we are willing to give. And it started with our money. And now it's gotten to the point where it's just, they can just treat us any way they want. They don't fear the people. They don't fear you. They don't have any fear at all. It's pretty crazy. So then I put this post up. I did this morning, by the way. I'm not the only one. I hope it led to other people doing it, but I put up a post in response to that. And I said, selling all Coke stock Monday. And I did. I will never buy another Coke product. I made a similar pledge for Starbucks 6 years ago, and I've never gone there either. I do not support a company that hates you. Buy a product that plays for Team Evil and never stand on the side of the devil, not even for a minute. So, yeah, it's me too. Oh, yeah, same with Amazon. Amazon can't come to my house. Amazon comes to my house, I'm like, get off my property. They're like, well, I have a package for you. I said, no, you don't. Amazon does not deliver here. And let me just tell you, those people that say, oh, I can't live without Amazon. Okay. My wife couldn't live without Amazon. Turns out FedEx does the same thing as Amazon, not from Amazon. And the businesses that you buy from FedEx and others, they appreciate it not getting it from Amazon. And why did I go against Amazon? Well, AWS steals your data. They harvest it. It's the same reason why I went to bare metal and got away from cloud environments. Told everyone to do the same thing. People are like, I don't need your data. You have no idea what's actually happening. Most people don't. But the more we get down this pathway, the more we start to see that you are literally funding your own demise. You're funding it yourself. You're funding it. And you say it's hard. Yeah, it was difficult for a few days. Then I adopted and I didn't buy it. I won't buy Coke products. I'll adopt it. I won't buy it. Yeah, I'll have Diet Pepsi. And if that doesn't work, I'll get IRC Cola. Like, I don't care. But I'm not giving people money that I know for a fact work against just being a good human. I won't do it. But I've heard so many people saying they can't live without it. Okay. Then you're not committed. And it looks really good. Your sacrifice looks really good from that couch. Really, really good. Yeah, this is, I want to push this out here. Nick Shirley was in Dearborn, Michigan. And, there's a man that stood up against, in the middle of the street, almost went to blows. Because the radical foreigners, the invaders of our country, now think that they are entitled to our country. And they can put up whatever they want, and they can steal from us whatever they want. And I'm just telling you right now that this is why I'm just super calm. I'm done. I'm done with all of it. I'm done with the judiciary. I'm done with people like Eric Coomer. I'm done with his lawyers. And I frankly don't want to live in a world where there's not consequences for their behavior. I'm done. And, it gets to a place where you start to realize that the system is not rigged against you individually. It's rigged against the people, the slaves. Property tax. Just think about that. Property tax. You have to rent your house from the government. And the three things they get you on: huge taxes, huge medical bills that they basically can then pump poison into you, huge insurance costs, which you get no return on that. They can decide whether or not, by the way, they pay your insurance claim. And now here we are. Here we are talking about property tax. You can steal your house. $25,000 a year for a house in Texas. Yeah. $2,000 a month just to live in a house you've already paid off. And they're taking that money and they're not giving it to children. Because if they were giving it to children, I just got to just so we're clear, they were giving it to children, you wouldn't have homeschool parents, which basically are doing an entire real educational system for less than $3,000 a year. And we talk about private school, they're doing it for between $5,000 and $6,000 a year per student. But our education system, nah, it's 15 grand per student. And that's, by the way, just funny money to them. They're robbing us blind, and we're sitting here letting them do it. Here's Nick Shirley. Let's go ahead and play it.
Your husband was about to get in a scuffle here in the middle of the streets.
That's good. You guys deserve it. Get the out of our... Now we're going to come to your guys' city and do this. Same thing.
I saw you about to throw down here in the middle of the street.
Hey, man, listen. These people hate our country. They hate everything we stand for. We have to oppose them everywhere they go, all right? Black or white. If you're a Christian in this country, these people hate your way of life. They oppose your existence. We can no longer allow this.
You think any of this is fear-mongering from the right?
No, it's necessary. You know, it's not fear-mongering. And black people, guess what? This country that you live in, you benefit from it. You should stand with your Christian brothers. Stand with our white brothers and sisters. This is our country that we've built together. We lose it, we have nothing. We lose this land, there's nothing else. You're not going to go to Africa and survive. You're not going to go to the Middle East and survive. Guess what? America was built by Christians. White people conquered the land. Black people benefit from it. We have to stand up for it. That's important. They come over here with their Ford Fusions. Go back to your country, all right? Go back to Somalia. Bye-bye.
Do you think he's saying that go back to your country because he's a country phobe? No. He's saying the quiet part out loud. The first one was a white liberal man who obviously is so weak he couldn't even open a lock for a bike that he was locking up because he was afraid someone was going to steal it. Because that's the real world we live in, the United States. But he called that guy a stupid traitor to his own people. A white dude calling a black dude a traitor to his own people. We got injunctions being filed in Minnesota so that against gang members, as if they're going to play by the rules. But they don't want ICE there to protect the people. They want the people to become victims. White people conquered this land. True. It's true. Conquered the shit out of it. That's true. We warriored up and we took it. Sorry, it's the truth. And there were some black people in there that did it too. And there were some Asian people. I mean, you want to talk about Asian people, they know how to build a railroad. It's probably why they're so damn smart. They don't want to go back to building railroads. But you think that's racist? It's not racist. They got the highest test scores God, you're going to get. I'm yet to find a stupid Asian person. Even an Asian with Down syndrome is pretty smart. I mean, they're like wicked smart. Yeah, okay, you don't want me to crack a joke. I'll crack a joke anyway. But I mean, look, we keep trying to do this thing where we walk around and sniff the edges. We don't want to talk about the reality. Stolen elections led these criminals to take over our communities and take over government, both at the state level and the federal level. We're captured by a communist society. We're captured by foreigners. We're captured by a family that sits somewhere in some country, half human. They don't give a shit about you. And in large part, just so you know, I had someone that called me that said, "Hey, listen, Joe, you're literally the way you figure things out as quickly as you figure it out. Like they're still trying to figure out how you figured stuff out. I'm clairvoyant. I said it on Jan 6th, well, the Jan 5th runoff race for I'm clairvoyant. No, I see stuff. And actually, can you pull that video up? Now, I don't think that I want to identify. I want to know how many of you actually identify with what this video is. And I haven't done any research on it, but when I was listening to it, because this person sent it to me, and I was like, what? They must have sent it to Mark Cook too, because Mark Cook posted it. But I mean, we're sitting in the middle of this. Black people, white people, Asian people, it doesn't matter. We conquered the shit out of it. We did. And the Native Americans, Native Indians, they conquered it before we did. You think that they just showed up here? No. They came across the, what is in Alaska right now, came down into the country, and they just wrecked it, Ralph. That's how they got here. You think that they just showed up one day? No. They migrated here and they captured whatever they could. We are a world that is run by violence. Look at what's happening in Iran. Look at what happened in Gaza. Look what happened in Gaza. And you got, and this is the part that blows my mind, right? So we're sitting here talking through it and trying to figure it all out. Everybody wants to be like, the sky is falling. No, the sky's already fallen. It's done. It's right around your ankles now. Everything you're seeing now is it's what's left. Because we didn't want to fight for it. But you look at what happened in Gaza. You look at what happened in Ukraine. I mean, they're like ripping people out of cars, putting them on the front line for the meat grinder. And we don't say shit. Nah, we have people that are inside of our government that are actual political leaders that were supposedly put there by the people, which they weren't. That the number one thing they have inside their bio line is Slava Ukraine. Are you kidding me? Not God bless America. Not God bless the United States of America. Not let's go USA. No. You're afraid. You're ashamed of that. But you will put on your bio first thing out the gate is a Ukrainian flag and Slava Ukraine. I just want to say you can piss all the way off. I have no interest. I just want us to wake up, right, and understand what we're dealing with. The John Solomon deal, man, it just bothers the shit out of it. Steve Bannon, same thing. It bothers me. And there's so much more that I know. I was telling my friend David Clements, I'm going to write it all down. One of these days, I'm going to tell the story. So much that I know. I got videos. Man, by the way, John Solomon's probably one of the nastiest, meanest human beings ever. He's just not a good guy. But more importantly than that, I got videos, and I got videos of other people that when these videos come out, it's going to change your perception of some people. All right. Look, we can actually change the trajectory of our country. But like that guy said, we got to stand with our brothers and sisters, American brothers and sisters. You want to turn this into a jihad? Let's go. Let's go. We got to decide that we're not going to let people steal our elections anymore. We got to decide that's not even an option. And I don't think it is. I think we're past the point right now where we have an interest in paying 56 cents on every dollar. And then what's a butt plug? A Buttigieg's butt plug? Yeah, that guy comes out and says we need to pay more taxes so we can have fast trains. I mean, it just keeps going. All right. Now, can I give you some good news about a warrior? I want to give you good news about a warrior. And then I'll show you this video, and then I'll let the comments wreck it, Ralph, on the comments. Go ahead, hit the share button, do all your things to share. I do appreciate you. I appreciate all the people that watch. And the people that are on Roku, yeah, thanks a lot. I didn't know that it was, I got a bunch of emails where people just sent me a photo of my face on the thing. I was like, oh, that's me. Yeah, Joe needs to be in front of Trump, not Solomon. Yeah, but I was talking to someone about that too. And this is why people like Kyle and Tifa Clark, we're going to talk about that too. We are going to talk about that. I have something else I want to talk to you about. I'm going to grab some stuff and just send it over to you guys. You guys okay with that? I'm going to send you some stuff that I can put up as well. But I want to talk about John Kuhneman. John Kuhneman is fighting on Dana White's Contender Series. He is 10-0. He is 10-0 in MMA. He is a type 1 diabetic. We have sponsored him for the last 3.5 years. I've watched this man kind of grow. He's amazing. So I want to show you this. I want to show you this video. This is John Kuhneman. He is fighting tomorrow night on the Dana White's Contender Series. Go ahead and play it.
30,000 insulin shots to stay alive, and I'm here telling all you type 1 diabetics, you can do anything you put yourself to, and you can meet something great. And the last thing, Dana White, Mick Maynard, my name is John Kuhneman. I'm 25 years old. I'm 10-0 with 10 finishes. Sign me! Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, John Kuhneman.
My hat's off to John. John's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, too. He's also getting married, just so you know. He's proposed, and she said yes. She's just as crazy as he is, it appears. And then I just want to put this up. This is a fight preview for what is coming tomorrow. Kuhneman is firing crop shot for the middleweight bout. It is tomorrow, and it's going to be on Paramount. So if you have Paramount, get it. I'll be watching it. I might even just do a show preview of it. We'll see how it goes. But John, just want to say, man, God's with you, bro. God is with you. By the way, his dad is a pastor out of Omaha, Nebraska. Probably one of the nicest men you'll ever meet. And certainly he has a huge church out there. And he is a part of, man, what is it called? Oh, Flashpoint. So pretty amazing guy. Yeah, he's definitely been on the show. Mod Trend says, I agree with Joe about 90% of the time. So Mod Trend, just go ahead and tell me the 10% that you don't. I'd love to have that conversation because I'm not always right. I'm not always right. I can tell you right now, I'm not always right. I mean, I'd like to think that I'm always right, but I'm not. I'm not always right. I want to go through a couple things with you. I was seeing this video, and I'll start it off with this. So this is my kind of drifting into just stuff, right, that I think is important to you, or maybe I should share with you. This is about a 4-minute video or so, and it talks about fallen angels. I really want to get into the comments about this. I actually also want to hook up the phones so I can start having conversations with a bunch of you again. But right now, we're going to start it here, if we can. If you could just play that video. Do you have that video? All right, let's go ahead and play it.
So let me show you the 7 irrefutable signs that you're an incarnated angel. And I warn you, the more of these signs you recognize in yourself, the clearer your true identity will be. And once you see it, you'll never be able to unsee it again. First sign, deep ontological loneliness. I'm not talking about social loneliness where you simply don't have enough friends. I'm talking about existential loneliness where even surrounded by people who love you, you feel an emptiness that no one can fill. As if part of you belongs somewhere else and constantly misses a home you can't remember where it is. Regular humans experience loneliness when they're physically isolated. Incarnated angels experience loneliness even in crowds, because your vibrational frequency is different. Your origin is different. And no matter how hard you try to connect deeply with others, there's always a part of you that remains inaccessible to them. It's not because you're antisocial. It's because you literally come from a different dimension. Second sign, empathy that destroys. It's not normal sensitivity. It's the ability to feel others' emotions with such intensity that it physically overwhelms you. You walk into a room and automatically absorb the pain, anguish, joy of everyone present, and you can't turn it off. Regular humans feel their own emotions. Incarnated angels feel everyone's emotions. It's both gift and curse simultaneously. Gift because it transforms you into a natural healer. Curse because it leaves you constantly exhausted. How many times have you left a social gathering feeling drained, even though you didn't do anything physically tiring? You weren't tired from social interaction. You were exhausted because you unconsciously processed the emotional loads of every person present. Third sign, inexplicable rejection since childhood. And I'm not talking about common bullying where cruel kids pick on the weak. I'm talking about something darker. Visceral rejection that certain people felt toward you for no apparent reason, as if your mere presence bothered them at a level they couldn't explain. Do you remember that family member who always treated you differently even though you never did anything? That teacher who seemed to have a personal problem with you for no reason? Those classmates who excluded you even though you were kind? It wasn't personal, it was spiritual. Certain people react negatively to incarnated angels because their souls unconsciously recognize that your light exposes their darkness. Your elevated frequency is unbearable for them. And instead of facing their own shadows, they attack the light that reveals them. They didn't reject you for what you did. They rejected you for what you are. Fourth sign, aversion to falseness that's physically impossible for you to tolerate. You can't fake it. You can't wear social masks. You can't participate in collective hypocrisy without feeling literal nausea. While everyone else seems capable of lying politely, smiling falsely, acting roles they're not, you simply can't do it without feeling like you're betraying something fundamental in your core. Regular humans learn quickly that social survival requires a certain level of falseness. Incarnated angels can never learn that lesson, because it's programmed in your celestial essence to operate solely from truth. Even when truth costs you relationships, jobs, social acceptance, you'd rather be alone being authentic than accompanied living a lie. Fifth sign, supernatural gifts that appear spontaneously. Maybe it's intuition so precise you know things you shouldn't know. Maybe it's the ability to heal simply by placing your hands on someone. Maybe it's that animals are inexplicably attracted to you. Maybe it's that plants flourish when you touch them. You didn't learn these abilities. You didn't study them. They've simply always been there, because they're part of your angelic nature filtering through your human form. Sixth sign, intensified spiritual attacks. I'm not talking about common bad luck. I'm talking about patterns where just when you're about to achieve something significant, everything mysteriously collapses. Relationships that should work explode for no reason. Guaranteed opportunities evaporate. Your health fails exactly when you need it most. Regular humans face random obstacles. Incarnated angels face systematic opposition. Because hell assigns demons specifically to sabotage your mission. You're not paranoid. You really are being attacked. And the intensity of attacks is proportional to the importance of your mission. The more they attack you, the more important you are. And seventh sign, homesickness for heaven without knowing exactly what you miss. It's a persistent sensation that this world isn't your true home. That you're temporarily here but belong somewhere else. And sometimes, especially in moments of quiet, you feel devastating nostalgia for something you can't identify. It's not depression, it's cellular memory. Your soul remembers celestial dimensions where you existed before incarnating. And part of you constantly wants to return even though you can't articulate where there is.
I'm going back and forth with people on the thing. They're like, Joe, what is this? So let me just tell you, Mark posted, 2 people sent it to me. Somebody told me about this thing that was on Mark's deal. And I was like, yeah, I've already seen it. And we need to be mission driven. I agree. This is a distraction. Oh yeah. It is a distraction. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. It is a distraction. And I did it on purpose as a distraction. Because I just wanted you to know that some of you feel these things, right? You feel connected to other people. You don't want people to go through pain. You find yourself lonely sitting in a room and being sucked dry by other people. That's me. So as I listened to these 7 things, I was like, I think that he just created this this angel thing on top of it. But there are people that literally have all of those traits. And those are people that typically end up fighting. Just fight. That brings me to consequences, right? So Kyle Antifa Clark, he's a quote unquote newscaster. at 9 News out of Denver, Colorado. And I've gotten more death threats and attacks, and even people, like I met a woman inside the United terminal, and she's like, "Are you Joe Oltmann?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "I think you're a piece of shit." And I was like, "Okay." Nice to meet you too. And she said, "You're an anti-Semite." And I was like, "No, I'm not." And she's like, "Yes, you are." I was like, "Well, where'd you get that from?" She goes, "Kyle Clark. You talked about the synagogue of Satan." So yeah, I get these because of Kyle Clark, right? So I get there's consequences to the fact that Kyle Clark just makes stuff up, walks past the biblical meaning. So as I'm sitting here talking to her, I was like, "Well, Revelations 2:9 and 3:9, let me read them to you." And she's like, I don't want to hear it. I was like, "You walked up to me, you will hear it. Okay. And if you walk back there, I'm going to walk back over there and you're going to hear from me." And she's like, "All right, give it to me." So I said, Revelations 2:9, Revelations 3, I read them to her. And I was like, "What did that say?" She goes, "What Bible is that in?" I said, "The only Bible." She goes, What version? That must be like a weird version." I said, What version do you read?" She goes, "King James Version." I was like, "Good, King James Version." So she opens up her app. She's had this conversation. She hated me. And I was like, "Listen, oh, Trent, I'm not going to handle it." I said, "Listen, if you believe anything that Kyle Clark says, then you're the problem. Because Kyle Clark is a demonic piece of trash." I go, "And that's truth, because the guy's never told the truth. He has never, ever, 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 ever told the truth. He's never told the truth. He uses 9 News as a bully pulpit. He uses it as a bully stick to hurt people and to incite other people. And he knows what he does happens because we've talked about it. Well, over the last couple of weeks, he's done it to other people now. And now I think we have at least enough of a collective effort. We can put it all together and we can go back after Kyle Clark. Now, nothing would make me more happy than to beat the brakes off of Kyle Clark. I mean, I just tell you right now, if we go to Rapture, he better hope he's not anywhere in the vicinity. He better hope that I never come into contact with him if we have like a purge moment. He better hope. Because I'm a God-fearing man, so I will make sure that I keep my composure and I walk the path. I'm very patient, better serve cold. But I will tell you that he's like a little evil midget who wears women's pants. I say that because over the last couple of weeks, Kyle Clark has been using this bully pulpit to attack people in the community. And he attacked a guy named Sean Pond. And Sean Pond is one of the nicest men you'll ever meet. And he was running for Senate, U.S. Senate in Colorado. This guy has never gotten involved in anything based on anything other than taking care of his community. He got betrayed by Lauren Boebert, who stood on the stage. And although I'd like the person that Lauren recommended, she didn't let the process become the process. She put her finger on the scales at the assembly in order to take Sean Pond out, which I find despicable. You're supposed to wear women's pants, Chris. You're a woman. He's a boy man. I guess is he a lady man? He's a lady man. So Kyle Clark is a lady man. He's just a little pussy. And by the way, he blocked me on socials, so I can't say anything to him. And he goes and he writes this stuff and he hides from people and he blocks anyone and everyone that says, that's how you know that he is just a fragile, evil piece of garbage. Okay. Okay, watch this. This is so easy. I love doing this. Ready? Boop. See ya. I want to know the story of the short person who hurt Joe. He has a fixation on people's height. I don't have. I'm just a tall guy. Okay. So put the post up. Put the post up. But just the Daniel Pond deal. Okay, so I basically call him a pariah, and he's a radical bully stick for sickos. But he's using this news organization. But I want to read Danielle Pond, who is Sean's wife. Last week it was my husband. Tonight it is Aaron Lee. Tomorrow it could be you. My name is Danielle Pond. I'm Sean's wife. Last week, Kyle Clark used the power of his platform at 9 News to portray my husband's political satire as anti-Semitic. Sound familiar? It does, doesn't it? Sean never mentioned Judaism. He never mentioned the Holocaust. He didn't even know Phil Weiser was Jewish. But fear moves faster than the truth. Within hours, strangers were calling my husband a Nazi, a racist, a bigot, an anti-Semite, a woman abuser, and a child abuser. Our family received hateful messages, harassment, and threats. Our children called us crying. I'm so sorry, Dad, they told him. They don't know you. Tonight I learned that Kyle Clark's attention has turned to Aaron Lee, a mother who turned her family's pain into a statewide movement to help thousands of ordinary Coloradans bring child protection measures against the voters. Whether you agree with Sean, Aaron, or every position they have ever taken is not the point. The point is power. A powerful media personality can put an ordinary citizen's name and face before hundreds of thousands of people, assign the darkest possible motive, and then leave that citizen and their family to survive whatever comes next. Who stands up when that happens? Who draws the line? For days, people have called, emailed, texted, and messaged us with the same request. Please fight back. Please hold them accountable. Please do not let this happen to another family. The truth is that Sean and I cannot do this alone. Taking on a powerful television statement and his station and its corporate owners requires attorneys, investigators, evidence preservation, and more money than an ordinary family has. That is why I created this legal fund. The fund is for Sean's legal fight, but the line we were drawing in the sand is bigger than Sean. We are standing for Aaron Lee. We are standing for parents, veterans, public servants, business owners, and every ordinary Coloradan who fears that their family could be targeted next. Sean has spent his life stepping forward. He served our country in the United States Navy during Operation Desert Shield. He completed 2 Persian Gulf deployments. He raised children he did not have to raise. He built businesses, created jobs, helped people battling addiction, and risked nearly everything our family had to defend his community. Now he is stepping forward again. Through attorneys and the courts, we intend to investigate what happened, preserve the evidence, identify those legally responsible, and pursue every claim the fact support against Kyle Clark, 9 News, its responsible corporate entities, and the individuals who made unlawful threats or engaged in unlawful harassment. It's not about revenge, it's about accountability. It's about ordinary people finally standing together and saying that powerful media corporations do not get to destroy families without answering for the consequences. Our goal is $100,000, whether you can give $10, $25, $50, or $100. You become part of this fight. If 1,000 people give $100, we can begin standing up to a machine that no ordinary family could face alone. Last week it was Sean. Tonight it is Aaron. Tomorrow it could be your husband, your wife, your parent, your children, your business, or your name. Sean will be the tip of the spear, but he needs all of us to stand behind him. Please donate. Please share this everywhere. Please help us draw the line. If we do not stand up now, who will? Danielle Pond. And they set up a GoFundMe. Go ahead and hit that saying. Let's see how much they've raised so far. So they've raised $3,500. This is what bothers me about where we're at. It's not Sean. You're not Sean. You're not Sean, so, what does it matter that you helped Sean Pond? You didn't have to go through it. You didn't have to put yourself on the line, and you didn't have to get attacked by Kyle Antifa Clark. You didn't get to have the devil himself go after your family, your children. I'll tell you the reason why I recognize what Sean's saying, because I've had to deal with it for 6 years. And I had more means than he did. I've had the ability to withstand it. I personally don't care what people say about me. People that matter don't care, and people that care don't matter. And I like to fight. I like fighting evil. I don't like evil in my community. I don't like what it does to our community. Aaron Lee put 3 ballot measures on the November ballot. 3. And by the way, they're 80-20 deals about preserving the rights of parents, making sure that parents make decisions for their children, stopping this indoctrination, stopping all the things that they're doing to kids. While people like that piece of trash, Kyle Antifa Clark, run around in their skinny women's jeans, talking trash and creating dog whistles that never were there. Now, that actually did cost me, and we've been going through this lawsuit deal. This might actually be really, really good because I can just call up Sean and say, listen, let's just wreck it, Ralph. I got the lawyers, we'll help pay for it. Class action this deal, we go after 9 News, and we just wreck it, Ralph. We hold them accountable. See, the difference between actual news is when it fixates on individuals and people, it becomes a weapon. I've been doing a lot of research on this. We've been sitting with lawyers, walking through all of our narratives to make sure we could get past all of the different standards that they have in the court. Because the anti-slap, well, it's not defamation. It's maliciousness. It's conspiracy. But at some point, I'm just going to tell you what's going to end up happening. Someone is not going to be as nice as Sean, as nice as me. And you're going to find that Kyle Clark is going to pay for it. And he should. I don't think that requires violence. But we are closely getting to a place where they are dictating things. And frankly, there's never been a time in the history of the world where evil has not led to good men having to do bad things against really bad people. And I pray it doesn't get to that. I pray that 9 News does the right thing and fire that piece of trash, Kyle Clark. That's what I hope they do. And I hope nobody ever picks up Kyle Clark, that Kyle Clark goes out and becomes the pariah little punk with no mic and no little soapbox to stand on with his women's skinny jeans. That's what I hope. Uh-oh. Chris, were you wearing boxers under those women pants? You're pretty bold. I do. Okay. This is getting a little much, Chris. Chris, I don't know if you should be answering that. Mod Trend, where are you going, bro? Not in the comments. Take it private. All right. That's all I have. I just, there's, I talked a little bit about transgenderism in my comments on Facebook. I've been kind of taking a little bit of a hiatus from socials. I come on the podcast, but I'm at that place, man. I'm just kind of calm before the storm. And I think the storm is coming. I hope it's a second coming, frankly. But if it's not, there's a whole lot of, I just hope that the people do not become the very thing that they're fighting against. And when you get to the point where you have this much pent up anger and frustration and you're pissed off, it's not good. And it's not going to be good for these evildoers, because the people are learning to stand together. They're learning to do what that guy with Nick Shirley is talking about. And that is just be done. Be done and kick these people out. You don't want to kick them out. You want the media to write a narrative that's not true. You want to be the radical leftist white dude, right? You can get out too. That's frankly what we think. Most people think. Okay. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and more. We're on Roku. We're on all the different channels now. And and working to get onto, let's see if we can get onto Netflix. That'd be cool. We'll see what we can do. Let's pray it out. There's a bunch of stuff that I'll be releasing. Stephanie Lambert and I were talking about a video. This is crazy, that they put out where Pennsylvania had another cyber attack similar to the one they had in 2020. See, they keep doing this thing where they're trying to say that it's an outside country that's doing it. Maybe. But the system was designed by people in our country that are traitors, that have stolen the voice of the people. So there you go. All right, let's pray it out. Father God, thank you. Thank you for truth. Thank you for the word that you put in front of us, that you allow us to live our lives by. Thank you for our brothers and sisters. Thank you for our neighbors. Thank you for the people in our family that we have stood shoulder to shoulder with. Thank you for the happiness that you allow us to have in the middle of all this strife, and for the fact that we can recognize that this is just but a test. And Father, we know that there's a lot to be done, and it's not just affecting what the people in the United States, but people around the world who are held hostage by a narrative and a rhetoric that we know is just absolute evil. So, Father, I just ask you to give us the strength to withstand it, give us the wisdom and the patience to be able to do exactly what you want us to do when you want us to do it. Help us, Father, to be forgiving, compassionate, but also recognize that truth doesn't have any filters, and it shouldn't. Father, I ask you to give the President of the United States the ability to fight through this supernaturally, to do whatever he needs to do in order to stop this madness in our country, to restore our rights as Americans, and to give us back what was never theirs to take. We ask these things, Father, and ask you to give us peace in the middle of all of it. I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right. Take it private. All right. You know what to do next. Go do your best. Have fun. Go play with your family and friends. Go play golf. I'll be playing golf tomorrow. See ya.
Rise up untamed in the heart of the fight where the wild ones roam. Joe Oltmann's calling, bringing truth back home. From conservative daily to this untamed fire, we shatter the silence, lifting spirits high. No chains can hold us, no lies can prevail. Authentic and fearless on this rugged trail. Patriots gather under stars and stripes. Untamed nation, igniting the night. Untamed nation, let the truth roll out in this land of the free. Standing proud from sea to shining sea, we won't back down. Catch the fire, wear the crown. Untamed nation, it's our battle song, motivating hearts where the brave belong. Yeah, untamed and wild, forever strong. Play it again all night long. Break the mold, chase the real. No more games, time to heal. Joe's voice leads the untamed crew. Truth matters through and through. Untamed nation, let the truth roll out in this land of the free. Standing proud from sea to shining sea, we won't back down. Catch the fire, wear the crown. Tame nation, it's our battle song, motivating hearts where the brave